Hi there and welcome to Weekly Wind-Up, which this week features what has become a regular annual event in Huddersfield. I'm Dave Hodgson and with me is John Williams, who is festival chairman. Of what, I hear you cry? It's now famous well beyond our region. It's the CAMRA Oktoberfest, which takes place from Thursday the 29th of September to Saturday the 1st of October. So, for the uninitiated, John, first explain it's the CAMRA Oktober Festival. We know what October means, but a lot of people won't know what CAMRA means. What is it?
CAMRA, it's the campaign for Real Ale. It was formed quite a few years ago in the time when the beer trade was suffering from chemical beers, and we were struggling to get anywhere where you could get a pint of what we would now call real ale.
Yeah, a decent pint.
A decent pint.
Yeah. So I've been told that it's the most successful consumer organisation in Europe. Is there any truth of that?
Well, we would like to think so. It would be wonderful to think that is the case. We certainly have done quite a lot of good as far as promoting real ale, as you will see with the choices that you have these days in most bars.
Most bars. You know, at one time you'd travel 20 miles to find one beer.
You would.
Not anymore. But back to the festival, which is why we're here. What's the reason behind holding it at this time of year? I suppose the hint's in the K of October. Are you giving it a German theme, or if not, what can we expect?
Well, no, it's not got a German theme. It is merely the time of year. We started somewhere in the 90s, calling it Oktoberfest. The very original beer festivals in Huddersfield were held in the town hall, and I remember going to them when I was much younger, and it became the Oktoberfest sometime in the 90s. I believe we were down at the ICI club at the time. And since then, of course, we've come into Huddersfield in 2 or 3 different places.
Right, okay. Well, looking at what you've got, there are different styles of beers and ciders, we mustn't forget that. So
Indeed.
what styles are you putting forward, and the same with ciders?
Well, one of the reasons for having it at this time of year is that we can bring in the darker winter beers which are starting to be brewed. There is has been a tendency in the past for the darker beers to be only made in the winter, or predominantly in the winter. So by having it at this time of year, we're able to take the summer beers, which are still available, and to go on to the darker winter beers.
And what about the ciders?
Cider is becoming a niche where there is quite a lot of things happening. A lot of smaller producers, as we have with beers, of course, microbreweries, but quite a few smaller producers, and it is becoming much more popular. You will actually see it on hand pumps in quite a few bars now, which was not a case in the past. Yeah,
well, you were lucky if you could find anything but a bottle of yellow fizz. and that leads on to my next question, of course, because we call it real ale and real cider. Why? What is not real ale and cider?
Well, it's a question that keeps getting asked and thrown about and argued about. The German principle is that beer should only contain water, hops and a grain and nothing else. It's something that we would like to head towards in this country. It's not always the case, but it's about having a live beer and not something that's been pasteurised and therefore sold in keg. Oh, I did forget that we have yeast in, of course, as well, which is the very active component.
I should imagine setting it up is difficult. How long does it take you before you're ready to serve?
Well, we shall start on Tuesday morning, getting everything into the hall, and hopefully we shall all be ready to start serving on Thursday night at 6 o'clock.
And it's pretty labour intensive. You can't get computers to set up
set
up beer pumps and connect barrels, can you?
Not at all.
Are you looking for volunteers?
Volunteers certainly, but unfortunately because of insurance things we have to say that the volunteers must be CAMRA members.
Yeah, because otherwise insurance becomes a
That's right.
big problem.
Although we are a local branch, we are still under the umbrella of the national CAMRA, which of course headquarters is in St Albans.
Yep, well, we've said where it is, and tell us again, because I've always known it as a Sikh temple, and I don't want to say that again. The Apna.
Apna,
Apna.
A-P-N-A.
Yeah.
It is behind the fire station and the new sports centre.
Yeah.
There is not much parking there, but...
well, you shouldn't be coming in a car to a beer
most
festival.
people will be
Use
finding
public transport, folks.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of which, of course, the some of the advertising is sponsored by First Buses, which I should mention. So
that's
yes.
a coup, isn't it?
Well, I don't know
a big
about
company
cool,
like that.
I
mean, it's UK wide, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's good for them to be supporting us, and drink responsibly is the watchword.
Yeah, enjoy yourself, but not too much.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay, well, there you have it. Apart from the fact, let's go through the dates again.
The date, it is next Thursday.
And the time of starting is slightly different for that, isn't it?
Starting at 6 o'clock on the Thursday.
Right, so it's evening only.
Evening only on Thursday,
yeah.
And then on Friday and Saturday we go through till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and then you to pack it all away.
And then it's all got to go, and we've got to be out of there very quickly.
What happens to the beer you don't sell?
I'm afraid it gets thrown away.
Oh. Well, my thanks to John Williams, Festival Chairman of the CAMRA Oktoberfest. Also, thanks to the news desk and the crew for making the programme happen, but especially to you, my loves, for watching the programme. Remember, we can be contacted through the usual means. So this is Dave Hodgson signing off. Be good or be careful. See ya.